How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Dr. Fishing. So basically today we're not fishing, obviously. There's no fish in this kitchen that I'm standing in. Basically today I'm just going to show y'all how I personally clean and maintain my reels when I'm done using them in saltwater, especially after a long day of, like wading or really taking on the saltwater environment. So I'm just going to give y'all a little tips and tricks on how I personally clean them. Everybody's got their own way of doing it, but this is how I do it. So the reel that I'm going to be using to demonstrate these procedures is a 13 Fishing Concept A, but it's the same method for any baitcaster reel. I do it on all the other Concept reels of mine. The Texas Concept C. I don't mess with the Z because apparently you're not supposed to oil those polymer bushings or whatever. I do it on the Lewis Light. Just any kind of baitcaster reel, guys, will work. I'm just using the Concept A today for the purpose of this video. So let's get to it. Okay, basically, so the first thing I like to do is find the tag end of your line and just put you a little piece of duct tape or, just some kind of electrical tape or, whatever works, just to hold that tag in out of the way so it doesn't mess you up or anything. Okay, so the next thing, tighten your drag all the way. I've actually heard about this. Apparently when you go to rinse it off, if you tighten your drag all the way, it seals it up a little bit better, so no serious water gets inside the reel. I don't know how true it is. I do it anyway. It doesn't hurt anything. Just kind of tighten it up. And so now we're going to rinse it off. So again, basically after I use my reels bass fishing, I really don't do anything to them because the fresh water is not going to really hurt anything. But again, these procedures I'm showing you are going to be for, saltwater use. Okay, so what you're going to do is come over to your sink and you want to get some warm water running through there. I don't know if it has to be warm. That's what I've heard. So just get some warm water running through there. Okay, so that's pretty warm right there. You don't want it like burning hot or nothing, just a little bit warm. So now, number one rule, do not put your reel under straight water like this, or especially with a water hose. All you're doing, if you do that, put any kind of water pressure on it, all you're doing is basically pushing sediment and dirt and salt and all that nasty gunk up inside the reel. So what I do, kind of turn it on a little bit. Then most sinks have this little sprayer here. I kind of get the sprayer and just kind of adjust it where it's, just kind of like that, just a little bit of a light spray. So then you take the reel, get underneath there, and just rinse it down with some warm water like so. Just kind of get in there, rinse it down. This is pretty self-explanatory. Just the biggest thing part about this, guys, is just make sure you don't have a water hose or any kind of water with a lot of pressure. Just don't be spraying that water pressure onto the reel. Okay, so that's good. Just kind of wet it down. Okay, so we're going to come back over here, and then what I like to do, you don't have to do this, I just like to there went my tape, so use some better tape, obviously. So what I like to do is just spin it around, just kind of get all that water off there inside the spool. You don't have to do this again. It's just something I like to do. Okay, so you're going to need three things. Number one, a paper towel. Really just one for cleaning, one for drying the reel off. Okay, so the other two things you need are some reel oil. And, I guess you don't really need this, but it is nice to have. It's called Reel Magic. What it's really meant for is to spray on monofilament lines so it takes the memory out of it, but this is a very good spray to use for corrosion resistance, kind of like how guys like to use Corrosion X on their reels and their boats and whatnot. This is a good thing to use on your reels. It'll help protect the reel against salt water and corrosion. So the reel oil that I'm using is a Lucas reel oil. You can use really a good oil that you can use for reels, and 13 Fishing actually recommends it on their reels as Remington gun oil. I've used it before. I've never had a problem with it. I actually called 13 Fishing and they recommended to use Rim oil on their reels, but I prefer Lucas, mainly because it's an actual reel oil and Lucas makes very good products. So I think I got it for $5. I think it's made in USA. So is the reel oil. It's made in America too. Or not the reel oil, the Reel Magic. It's made in America too. So basically this is what we're going to do. So on the Concept reels, you just undo this knob here. And again, it's the same thing for any other reel. Just take your side plate off. And what we're going to do is pull the spool out. Now the next thing we're going to do is take the cap off your reel oil. And as y'all can see, this little hole down in here, I'm not sure exactly what you call that in there, but what we're going to do is just spray 1 or 2 drops in there. Not very much, just 1 or 2 drops. So there's 1 and 2. Okay, that's plenty for that. The next place we're going to put some oil is right here on the on your spool, this little shaft right here, all I do is just kind of take it and just kind of go back and forward with it. Not much, just a little bit of oil on there. And then we're also going to put 1 drop of oil on this bearing, on the spool bearing right here. Do not put more than 1 drop of oil. You'd rather have not enough oil than too much oil on a bearing. If you over oil a bearing, it's just going to give you hell and you're going to have nothing but problems. Trust me, I learned the hard way. So that's what we're going to do. We're just literally going to put 1 drop of oil on the bearing. That's it. 1 single drop, just kind of spinning around, get that oil in there. Okay, so we're going to put that aside. Next part that I like to put oil at is actually I just kind of put it on my finger. And then right here where your spool spins inside the actual frame of the reel, I like to just kind of put some oil right there around that circle. And then maybe some inside of here. Just kind of where, you know, your spool spins around in the reel. Just put some oil there. And then another good place to put it is, again, put it on your finger. It's kind of better to use Q-tips for putting oil in this area, but I'll show you anyway. Just kind of like right here where your button slides up and down, your release button, just kind of put some oil there. So we got the spool bearing oiled up and the shaft, so we're going to go ahead and put the spool back inside the reel. And the reason I say use tape is, looks like I got lucky this time. A lot of times you'll have a lot of problems with your braid or your mono or whatever you're using getting caught up between the spool and the frame of the reel right here, so it kind of makes it hard, but I got lucky this time. So before we close the reel back up, we're going to put oil in one more spot, and that is right here on this side plate bearing. Again, 1 drop. That is all you need. 1 drop, not a drop more. Just 1 drop, just like that. So we're going to put it back together. As you can see, spins great, no problems there. So basically what we're going to do now is kind of dry the reel up from the water that we sprayed on it. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention, I've never done this before, but apparently 13 Fishing, and I know my Lew's has it, I'm not sure about other reels. They got this little port right here, and apparently that's a place that you can drop oil in. I've never done it before because I know these are gears in here, and from what I know, you don't want to put oil on gears. You only want to put grease on gears, so I don't mess with it. I've never had a problem with them. Okay, so we're done with our reel oil, so you can just kind of put your cap on there. The next thing I like to do is, after you dry the reel off, that's where the Reel Magic comes into play. So literally just kind of shake it up and take it and just spray the reel down. Just kind of, you don't want to be right here, just kind of out here a little bit, kind of like you're spray painting something. Just kind of give it a nice coat of Reel Magic, just like that. Not too much, just a nice little coat of it. As you can see how it makes the reel all shiny and stuff. It's pretty cool. This stuff works really good, especially for cleaning also. It's a very good product for cleaning your reels. So then this is where our second paper towel comes into play. I didn't even use the first one, but either way, you'll get it. Just get a paper towel and a rag or something. Use the rag to dry your reel off. Have a paper towel to, you know, wipe off the Reel Magic. Wipe it down with the Reel Magic on there. Again, this stuff works very good for corrosion resistance against the saltwater on your reels. A lot of guys like to use the Corrosion X. I believe the red can, maybe the green can on reels. I have very good luck with Reel Magic though, and I've had this can about a year or two, and I still have plenty left. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope that helped some of y'all out. You know, everybody, again, like I said in the beginning of the video, everybody's got their own way of doing it. That's just my personal method of cleaning reels after saltwater use. On the rods, I guess I can tell y'all real quick, there's nothing really special about the rods. All I do is take them underneath the faucet, and it's okay to use, you know, just the regular faucet. Just flip your water on. I just run the rod underneath the water a few times, especially focus on getting the water on the guides, because, you know, the guides are stainless steel, or really you don't have to worry about recoil guides, but especially on stainless steel guides, you just kind of want to make sure you get water on there. Again, thanks for watching another episode of Dr. Fishing. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and y'all can add me on Snapchat right here, Sperry8588. Talk to me, call me, do whatever y'all want to do. Follow us on Instagram at Dr. Fishing. Other than that, like, subscribe, comment, and thank y'all for watching. This is Dr. Fishing, and we will see you later.